Hello everyone, apa khabar? In this lesson, we will dive into understanding the E suffix and how it's different from the kan suffix. Okay, so let's recap. The kan suffix is used with verb when the action is done onto something else. So in this case, it's particularly the action is being done onto a direct object. So in some cases, there will be two objects in the sentence. One is a direct object and one is an indirect object. For example, Sufyan throws a pillow. So here the action is to throw and the direct object would be the pillow. But if it's Sufyan throws a pillow to me, here there are two objects in the sentence, the pillow and me. And there's another way to say this in English, that is, Sufyan throws me a pillow. So how is this structured in Malay? So to throw in Malay would be baling. A pillow would be bantal. So if it's Sufyan throws a pillow, Sufyan baling bantal. But if it's Sufyan throws a pillow to me, Sufyan balingkan bantal kepada saya. So if it's a formal version, it would be Sufyan membalingkan bantal kepada saya. So the suffix kan follows the verb if they are followed by the direct object, which is the pillow. However, if it's Sufyan throws me a pillow, that would be Sufyan membalingi saya bantal. Okay? And that's the difference between the suffix kan and the suffix e. Another example. Carrie gave me a watch as a present. So in Malay, the word for present is hadiah. Carrie bagi saya hadiah jam. So the phrase hadiah jam means a present of a watch. Okay? And the word hadiah here is a noun, means a present, but it can turn into a verb if it's followed by the suffix kan or e. So imagine the verb gift in English, which is a noun, but it could be turned into a verb. For example, Carrie gifted a watch to me. And how is this said in Malay? So the watch itself, is it a direct or an indirect object? Because the watch itself is being presented or being gifted, then it's the direct object. And because of that, we use the suffix kan. Carrie hadiahkan jam kepada saya. Carrie hadiahkan jam kepada saya. But what if it's Carrie gifted me a watch? So in this case, me would be an indirect object. So the verb would need to be followed by the suffix e. Carrie hadiahi saya jam. Okay? So one important note is that the suffix e is mostly used in formal Malay. It's seldom used in informal Malay. Alright, one more point to make is that the indirect object can be the subject itself or the noun itself. How is this possible, you may ask? Now, this is mostly for intransitive verbs, verbs that could stand on its own. So, for example, the verb duduk, which means to sit. Haris duduk. So it means Haris sits. And it doesn't need an object for the sentence. But if it's Haris places his child on the bed, or Haris makes his child sit on the bed. So in Malay that would be Haris dudukkan anak dia atas katil. Haris dudukkan anak dia atas katil. So here there is a direct object which is his child. But there'll be situations where you'll see the verb duduki. So in this case, duduk is an intransitive verb. If it's followed by the suffix e, it means the action is being done onto the noun itself, on Haris himself. Haris duduki tempat kedua. Haris duduki tempat kedua. So that means Haris placed second. And in most cases, if you have the suffix e, you also have the prefix me in front. Haris menduduki tempat kedua, because generally both the suffix e and the prefix me are used in formal Malay. Okay, let's look at the verb masuk, which means to enter or to go in, which is another intransitive verb. Linda enters, so it doesn't need an object. Linda masuk. Linda masuk. What if Linda puts the money inside the envelope? So in Malay, to put is letak. Letak. But here, the more common verb which is used in Malay is masukkan, which literally means to make something enter. Linda puts the money inside the envelope. In Malay is Linda masukkan duit tu dalam sampul surat. Linda masukkan duit tu dalam sampul surat. So because the money is a direct object, so we use the suffix kan. But you will also hear the suffix e after masuk. Linda masuki pertandingan memasak. Or Linda memasuki pertandingan memasak. So here there's no object because the suffix e indicates that the action is being done by Linda onto herself. And in English, this is Linda enters a cooking competition. Okay? Again, this is in formal Malay, but if you want to keep it easy and simple, and informal Malay, you can just say Linda masuk pertandingan masak. It's understood. Looking at the example earlier, Haris duduki tempat kedua. In informal version would simply be Haris duduk tempat kedua. Okay, so there are different factors when you want to use the suffix e as opposed to the suffix kan, whether the object is an indirect object or a direct object, whether the verb is an intransitive verb or a transitive verb, if it's a formal setting or an informal or casual setting. And it's also important to take note that not all verbs can carry the e suffix. For example, the verb buka, to open, it's mostly followed by the suffix kan. Pegang, to hold, or tanam, to plant. So those are several examples which you almost never see the suffix e following the verbs. And these are mostly transitive verbs. So if you find it hard, difficult to use the suffix e, just keep it simple because it's mostly used in formal Malay. So you don't have to worry if you're speaking on a day-to-day basis. Okay, I hope that helps. See you in the next lesson.